Hello, you beautiful stars. Welcome to Awaken and Align, and happy full moon in Aquarius. It actually happened today, which is Sunday, August 22nd at 8:02 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm sure wherever you are, you've experienced this already and you felt the energy. And it happened at 29 degrees and 37 minutes of Aquarius. So back when I did this video about a month ago, when it was another full moon in Aquarius, it was at 1 degree. And if you think even back 6 months ago, when it was the new moon in Aquarius, you set some intentions, and maybe at this full moon at the 29th degree, which is an anaretic degree in astrology, you started to see some manifestations. You started to see some of the fruits of the seeds that you planted back in the new moon in Aquarius. So today I decided to do something a little different because I really wanted to film this on the full moon in Aquarius and really tap into the energy. Right now in New York, where I'm living, we're going through a hurricane as we speak, Hurricane Henri. And as we all know, scientists know that when full moons come, it raises the water levels, the oceans are affected. And I really believe in the power of storms, how they come in, they disrupt the energy, they wash away things that we no longer need, they purify. Water is cleansing, it's healing. Water is consciousness, it brings life on earth, and every life form starts with water. We were growing in our mother's womb, which was a very watery environment, and Aquarius in the tarot is the water bearer, Aquarius, with the star card, number 17. And I really feel that this energy is a culmination, a full cycle of something that you've been maybe consciously or unconsciously manifesting or creating or working through. Just like in a mother's womb, when she carries a baby, it takes 9 months for a baby to be born. So even think back towards December of 2020, when we had Saturn and Jupiter in conjunction at 00 degrees of Aquarius. You definitely started this huge portal in your area of life that is Aquarian. So I thought it would be interesting because Aquarius also rules thinking outside the box, doing things differently. I thought I would pre-shuffle a bunch of cards, and the question that I asked Spirit, our ancestors and our guides, what are you currently manifesting? What are you currently birthing into this world? Now, you might have already seen the fruits of this. You might have started to already see this, or this is coming. Remember, time is fluid. Time is not linear. That's just how we as humans organize time. And also any other messages that come through to help you. I am going to talk about based on the rising sign, what area of your life this is impacting, but please feel free to watch your sun, moon, rising, or stelliums. This is collective energies. Some of this might not resonate with you, so take what resonates, leave what does not. And this is really not in regards to a personal reading or a personal chart. You want to look at in your chart where 29 degrees is of Leo and also Aquarius. Because this is a full moon, it's an opposition. And oppositions, I think people forget that full moons are this beautiful energy of finishing a cycle, right? Something feels very full, something feels very illuminated, but the illumination can be something that you might not want to see, but it's for your highest timeline, it's for your highest good. Now you want to see also where you're going to have Virgo in your chart, because the sun just moved into Virgo today, actually. And this is the area of your life that you're going to be focused on during Virgo season. Now, what's beautiful about this energy this coming week is that Venus is in her home sign of Libra, Saturn is in his home sign of Aquarius, Mercury is in his home sign of Virgo, Mars is in Virgo, which is trine to Uranus and Taurus. So it's a very powerful time to focus your energies on something that you want to do, something that you want to create action towards, because Mars is the planet of action, and it's really a beautiful time to be authentically yourself. Again, Aquarius rules being authentic, being radical, rebellious, so in alignment with who you are, and I really feel as a collective we are remembering those parts of us that we might have lost. And I don't know, I'm just feeling this energy. It's raining outside, it's a lot of energy, you know, that's been culminated, and that's what storms are, right? It's a release of energy and water coming away to wash it all away. And so you're seeing a lot of things that maybe you need to address, things that have been holding you back. And because this is an air sign, Aquarius, it really, I believe, talks about limiting beliefs, you needing to have a perspective shift on your life. And that's easier said than done when it looks like our entire world is falling apart right now. But that is why your energies can be best suited in friendship and community and doing humanitarian things. Take the focus off of yourself, which is Leo, towards others, which is Aquarius. So without further ado, I don't want to take much of your time. Here we go. We're going to start with Aquarius risings. Okay, so like I mentioned in the intro, I already pre-shuffled your cards, and we're going to tap into what are the things that you are manifesting from this full moon in Aquarius, and then any other messages that are coming through here. So for the archetype for you, let me just mention first that for Aquarius risings, this is happening in your first house. So you've been having a illumination of self, of your body, of how you move through this world, right? It could also be something physical, because Aquarius, the modern ruler of Aquarius, is Uranus, which is electricity, kundalini. Maybe some of you are experiencing some kind of kundalini awakening, or you're awakening to your body, or you're having some kind of energetic shift within your body. A lot of New Age people say words like 5D and ascension, and I think that just really means that you're remembering that you are a part of the divine, and you're working through your energy body, energy system versus just your physical. And I love that, because when I went through my Kundalini awakening and my awakening journey, I was definitely going through some energetic shifts within myself and my body, and I could almost automatically sense the kind of foods that I wanted to eat and the foods that I didn't want to eat. Like automatically I just wanted to not eat heavy foods, animal products, but also just chemical products, and stepping away from alcohol. So your archetype is the Temple. Oh my goodness. You know that saying, like, your body is a temple? And I really feel like what you're manifesting is seeing your body and your, like, divinity within you in a different way. And this could have, like I mentioned, started in the new moon in Aquarius that was in February, but also you started really working on yourself, really working on your sense of being, praying, meditating. And I love that it's blue, yellow, and green, which talks about the chakras from the navel point to the third eye. So you're really focusing on integrating your Shiva and your Shakti, your divinity and your humanness. And in sacred geometry and in astrology, trines or triangles, it helps you to move the energy upward to, I mean, look at the pyramids in Egypt, right? The pyramids are energetic portals that concentrate energy in one area of the world, which is Egypt. So that's the temple. Wow, very on point. Then we have Milk and Honey with number 51, which reduces to a 5. And this is like one of the best cards in this deck, actually, because Milk and Honey in this deck means that you're manifesting like all of the milk and honey, like all of the richness and all of the goodness that life has to offer. And if you can't see this little baby elephant is swimming in milk, and there's honey and milk here with the rainbow. And elephants are symbolized of removing obstacles. So I really feel like with this, like, you're really enjoying life, really seeing a new perspective shift. And then we have Whale and Orca leaders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Showing up in your authenticity, sharing your voice. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you have been going deeper into your spiritual practice, into your body, seeing your body as a vehicle of energy. And then we have the Phoenix. Oh my goodness. Rising above the ashes. Wow. I love the Phoenix. Yeah, but the thing is like the Phoenix only rises above her ashes after she's burned away all the stuff that does not serve. So yeah, maybe some of you have been really hard on yourself. Like, the first house is all about sense of self, right? And so in order for you to have gotten this perspective change, you had to have gotten to maybe a rock bottom, you know? And then 21 with home, this is the goddess Hestia. And I think this is so relevant to the temple too, like your body as your home. Okay. And then the two tarot cards that we have is the Six of Wands and the Daughter of Pentacles. And another rainbow here. So the Six of Wands talks about victory, success, having achieved some kind of milestone, experienced some kind of victory. With the Daughter of Pentacles is like, the Daughter of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, talks about learning something new, investing in something, but in a novice way. So maybe what you've been manifesting is a new way of seeing yourself. Again, with all of these amazing cards that you've gotten, you're feeling really, really good. You're feeling really good in your body. You're feeling really good in your sense of self. And for your last card, confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. And maybe a lot of you have been, you know, we just had a new moon in Leo 2 weeks ago, the 888 Lionsgate portal. And maybe one of your intentions was to have more confidence, because Leo is your opposite sign. And Leos are all about shining. And Leos are all about wanting to be seen. And so maybe you've been trying to cultivate more of this Leo energy within you. So really what these cards are telling me is you're manifesting a renewed sense of self-love, sense of self. And when you have that worthiness and that victory in yourself, that shines outward. And I believe in the Hermetic principle of as within, so without, as above, so below. So this is beautiful, Aquarius risings. I really hope that you enjoyed that, and keep going. Don't give up. Hello, Capricorn risings. So for you, Capricorn risings, this is happening in your second house of self-worth, value, money, and just your finances in general. And so let's take a look. Maybe you've been manifesting some money. Maybe you've been working on your self-worth and what you value, and also really taking a look at how you can make money in a different way, because Aquarius is thinking outside the box and thinking for the future. But also, I do have to say, with Uranus being in Taurus, we're all being asked to make money in a different way, not from the traditional way of taking resources from Mother Earth, but really trying to use our innovation and creativity to create new pathways for abundance. So let's see here. Your archetype is the King. Okay. You're manifesting a sense of authority, a sense of standing in your own power. Blessed, number 22. Blessed. Yes, 22 is a master number. I love this card, and I love when it shows up, because it basically says that sometimes the universe just drops little gifts for you, like you didn't expect it. It's not like you manifested it. It's not like you necessarily had to do anything for it, but also knowing that you are blessed always. This is amazing. Yay! And you know, with Jupiter being retrograde there also with the full moon, you might have gotten a surprise like amount of money or a raise or something like this, or you will in the next coming days. Okay, then we have Earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it, which I feel like is very appropriate for Capricorn risings because you are an Earth sign. You are ruled by Saturn, and currently Saturn is in retrograde in Aquarius. So, yeah, Saturn retrograding in Aquarius in your second house as well is making you rethink for the long term your ideas about how to make money, your ideas of your value. Then we have the Swan. Oh my God. And I love this card with the Swan because it's mirrored energy. And I keep thinking about, and I just talked about this on my IGTV when I brought up Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard's Law of Assumption basically talks about how when you imagine something, when you believe it to be true, when you believe it in your feelings as well, you mirror out into the matrix, into the simulation, the feelings and your dreams and your imagination. It actually, for him, it has nothing to do with action per se. The action comes automatically. So I think this is you finally with this 22, again mirroring energy, of understanding that when you feel worthiness within yourself, when you feel like the Capricorn king or queen that you are, you start seeing the manifestations of it in your outer realm. And then you have Alliance with Hera, another number 2. So interesting. So when Jupiter went into Pisces for a little bit in your 3rd house, I think that was a little clue for you to start partnering up with people. And it's going to go back into Pisces later on this year. So you might want to think about collaborating with more people. Yes. And then you have the King. Oh my goodness. The King of Wands with this king. Yes. Okay. So Capricorn risings, because you are ruled by Saturn, normally you feel like things are moving slower. You always feel like, why is it everything happening for everybody else but me? I mean, no shade on you with peace and love, but that's normally how every Capricorn rising I know, that's how they perceive their life. And what this is saying is you're manifesting a different way of looking at your energy. You realize that when you have this authority, this creativity, this passion, this fire energy, when you ignite the fire energy within you, that is how you will manifest things in a different way, by not necessarily the ways in which you used to do it. Because Saturn in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, all of these outer planets in retrograde are asking for you to really think of things in a different way, doing things in a different way. And you are doing it because you have 2 kings here. Damn. Okay, and then your second tarot card is the 4 of Wands. Oh my God. The 4 of Wands is a beautiful celebratory energy. It's very happy. It's very like you're manifesting happiness in a way that you never even thought possible. And it could very much just really be that you realize that what's important in your life is just knowing that you are blessed, knowing that you are taken care of. So the last card we have here is Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius. Look at that. Show the world the real you, Capricorn risings. I feel like you've really been working a lot on your worthiness, your self-worth, what you value, your ideas of abundance, maybe healing your belief in lack. And when you do that, you will really see the benefits of this, because all I see here is amazing positive cards. So thank you, Capricorn risings. Hi, Sag rising. So this is happening in our third house. I'm a Sag rising. The third house is all about siblings, community, communication, social media, writing. So for this, you might have maybe wanted to manifest some kind of presence on social media, or a book project, or writing, or a blog, or maybe you're having some kind of communication with your neighborhood or your community, something with your siblings. So let's take a look at your cards and see what they have to say. So the archetype is the womb. Ooh, creating something. Or this could literally be a baby, but I'm feeling more for a lot of you that this is creating something, allowing something to flow through you, birthing something. Message in a bottle. Number 15, which reduces to a 6. In this deck, this card talks about receiving like a divine message, either a divine download or receiving a message from somebody for an opportunity. So this could be like an opportunity to co-create with spirit, or opportunity to co-create something. This is exciting. Okay, just because I'm a Sag rising. Then we have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So the third house also is the mind. It's the house of the mind. It's a Gemini ruled house. So this could be at like a spiritual level getting downloads from spirit, but it could also mean that you're getting an idea to create something, you know, something big, something that's going to change your life. Yes, fertility with the rabbit. So the only warning I would have with this is, you know, that story about the rabbit and the hare. Like, don't rush it. Take your time, take it slow. Because, you know, being a Sag rising, we're a fire sign, we tend to want to move really quickly. But this is also a symbol of fertility, because, you know, rabbits. And it literally could be some of you are having a baby, if you want that kind of thing. Okay, then our goddess with number 7 is Branwyn, forgiveness. Okay. You know, every full moon, I find that when we call something in, when we are manifesting something, we have to let certain things go from our past, right? And I think this is what this is saying, is that in this full moon cycle, maybe some of you, and this is only for some of you, are working on forgiveness with maybe your sibling or somebody around you. And when you actually do that forgiveness work, I love the Polynesian prayer, Ho'oponopono, the forgiveness prayer. Then it releases energetically something that's been clogging up your energy body. And for that to happen, you need to do the forgiveness so that the other thing can come through. Now for your 2... we have the World and the Star. Oh my goodness. This is like everything. These two together, for some reason, make me think of fame. Like the World with the Star together, when these two come out, it's like going viral, having some kind of following, some kind of fame, popularity. What are you all working on, Sag risings? It's going to be very easily received or very well received. I feel like a lot of you are working on something, and you've been working on this for a while. And I know Sag risings with, you know, our first house being eclipsed, you know, and we've been having to do a lot of the forgiveness work for ourselves and for others, because the opposite eclipses were happening in our 7th house. We've had to let go of a lot of relationships coming into full culmination of something, which is what I mentioned with the full moon in Aquarius. But with that, and I think one of the other either new moons or full moons that I did for Sag risings, this also came out. The star can also talk about healing, inspiration. I think finally, after all these eclipses, which we still have some eclipses in the fall, we're starting to get our feet back up. And then the last card we have is a new moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. So maybe check out Libra season. Venus is in Libra right now in the 11th house, which is trine to the 3rd house with Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, which is trine to the North Node in Gemini. So maybe a lot of you are calling in a relationship of new romantic partner, and you've had to do a lot of like healing and forgiveness work in that area of your life, because the energies are supporting this. And I'm feeling that this is a friendship that turns into a romantic interest, because Venus in Libra in our 11th house talks about community, which is trine to our 3rd house, again, community. And Saturn being there, I think it's really going to make this for the long term, you know, because the nodes of fate, with the North Node being in Gemini, is fated, and maybe that's the message coming through here. Please let me know what this means, Sag risings. Ooh, exciting. Okay. Next, we have Scorpio risings. This is happening in your 4th house of roots, ancestors, family, and home, and also your physical home. And, you know, maybe you decided to expand your family, you know, with Jupiter being there. Maybe you decided to move or sell homes or buy a home. This is an area that you've been thinking about for a while, because you've been thinking about this with the new moon in Aquarius back in February, and then with this full moon that happened a month ago, and this is a blue moon. So this is something like that's a little faded, not a little faded. This is something that's faded, something that maybe came as a surprise. Maybe some of you have actually moved your homes, and now you're just trying to like figure out your new life. So let's see what the cards have to say. So for your archetype, we have the Lover. Oh my goodness. This is kind of the energy I was feeling. Like maybe you moved in with your lover. Maybe you are sharing a home with your lover. Or you're deepening your relationship with the lover, because the 4th house is like a very private house. It's very emotional. It's a Cancer ruled house. Maybe you're deepening your intimacy with your partner. I know that's more 8th house energy, but the 4th house still is like very intimate, very emotional. Orphaned with number 5. Okay, this was the energy I was picking up. You've had all this change. Again, I'm feeling like a lot of you have moved or expanded or have done something different in this area of your life, and you feel like, what the fuck? Did I make a mistake? Or things are getting very serious. Things are getting very, you know, whenever we want to manifest something, right? Like let's say a lover. There's always this feeling when you get the thing that you want that it's not exactly how you thought it would make you feel, which is why when I talk about manifestation, I always preface the idea of really manifesting the essence of what you're calling in and feeling that already in your body, because the physical things like a lover, like a home, like money, are just the form. They're never going to give you the feeling that you're looking out for. So maybe some of you have felt like you've manifested these things, you made the moves, but it's like, it's not necessarily giving me the feeling that I've always wanted to feel for. And that's what's this Leo opposing, Leo in your 10th house opposite Aquarius in your 4th house. Maybe some of you also are balancing your career with your romantic life, because the 10th house is career. So then we have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. So this is what you're also manifesting for this full moon. Again, like I mentioned, the fourth house is your home as well, like your physical home. Love it. Then we have the starfish. I love it. So the starfish actually is my Burning Man name. And I love the starfish because it is a water element, it's a water creature, but it looks like a star. And I find it interesting that this says star bathing, right? Star bathing, and this is a star. So maybe you're all being called to also, okay, I'm getting 2 things. Remembering your star seed origins, or actually going outside and star bathing, like walking outside when it's dark and there's sun and the moonlight, you know. I do this every night. I can't really do it tonight because it's raining. It's literally a hurricane, but normally when it's really nice out, I go for a walk at nighttime, and it's something energetic that happens within me. It's not something that I can necessarily even like transmit through words, but it is so healing for me personally. And maybe with this orphan card that came out, you're really being called to, I just keep thinking about like star seed family, star seed ancestors, because again, the 4th house is your ancestors. Take that as it resonates. Not everybody relates to star seeds. Oh, 49 with Uzume humor. Okay, that's what you're manifesting, this energy of humor, having fun. You know, Scorpio risings are pretty intense, very magnetic. You're ruled by Pluto. So maybe, you know, infusing some humor into your life. Now, the 2 tarot cards we have is the Queen of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. Okay, you're expanding in your home. You're expanding in your groundedness, in your ability to birth something, in your ability to feel grounded in your power, in your manifestation power. The 3 of Wands is talking about like expansion, having the energy and the will to go forward and to expand and travel. It also talks about travel. So interesting, right? Because you're going through this full moon in the 4th house. I feel like a lot of like conflicting energy. So please let me know if any of this is resonating. I feel like a lot of you got what you wanted. A lot of you manifested what you wanted, but it's not exactly what you thought it would make you feel like. So now you're like, okay, maybe I need to expand in a different way. Which is why I feel like some of you are being called to just activate your light body, like connect to your ancestry, connect to your roots, connect to your it also talks about family, you know, the 4th house. And then we have emotions are running high, supermoon. And this is the feeling that I was getting. I'm feeling a lot of like bottling up, like energy. I don't know how to explain it. I feel a lot of like confusion and a lot of mixed messages here. So it could be that a lot of you are feeling this at this moment, or I'm channeling different Scorpio risings who are going through different things. So I hope that wasn't too confusing, but thank you, Scorpio risings. And now we're moving on to Libra risings. This is happening in your 5th house. Your 5th house of their inner child, of creativity, of art, of entertainment, of... It is the Leo house. So how you shine, how you have fun. So let's talk about this. Maybe for you, some of you Libra risings, you know, Venus is moving through your 1st house, so you're feeling like very good. You're feeling very magnetic. You're feeling very into your body. You're feeling very I want to be seen. I want to be, you know, in the limelight. So I don't know why I'm getting this feeling like a lot of you want to be famous. A lot of you want to be known. Maybe some of you want to get into being an actor or an actress or in film, or I don't know why this is like a random message for maybe one of you, but you want to be some kind of like design star, like on one of those reality TV shows. Like, I don't watch those kind of shows, but I do know about Chip and Joanna Gaines because homegirl is Korean, at least half Korean. So I'm getting, because, you know, Libra risings are super into aesthetics, into beauty, into like textures, right? That message might have been just for one of you. So let's look into your cards. Your archetype is Anima Mundi. Oh my gosh, I love this card. So this is the last card in the deck of the archetypes. And this really talks about coming into a full culmination with your energies, with your anima and animus, your feminine and masculine, your yin and yang, your yin and yang, and really fully embodying all of that. And this to me really feels like Venus in Libra, but like more than Venus in Libra. Like, you can't see this because I'll try to put it as close as possible, but there's all the planets here, there's a figure in the middle. It's like fully coming into your own and wanting to be seen. That's what I was getting. The Fates with number 17. Okay, see, I was not wrong. Most of you want to be seen. Most of you want to be with all these stars around her head. You want to make an impact in your own way. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Okay, so some of you might be manifesting like a soul-minded community. Some of you might have felt a little isolated. Okay. The Otter, which talks about fun. It's a water energy. Yeah, I love the Otter. This one talks about having fun, being playful, which is the 5th house. Your goddess is number 46, the future. Scold. Yeah, okay, this is all making so much sense now. The new moon in Aquarius, which happened in February, a lot of you might have been manifesting this, like an opportunity to be more seen, being more out there with this future card. And now with this full moon, you're like, you're either in one of two places. You're either like, okay, this is what I really want to do, and now I actually have to be seen and put myself out there. Or number two, it's already starting to happen. Let's look at the tarot cards. Oh my God. The Judgment and the Strength. Okay, you had an awakening. You had a, even possibly spiritual awakening. You had some kind of awareness, and the full moon is when the luminaries are opposite each other and you see something clearly. So you have an awakening, you have a recognition that in order for you to make your dreams happen, you have to embody the Leo, the Strength card. And in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the picture is of a woman who opens the lion's mouth with full trust and faith that the lion won't eat her, because she has confidence from her own life experiences. Oh my God, I can't make this up. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Leo. Okay, even though Leo season is technically over, now we're in Virgo season, I feel like this was a major awakening that you had during Leo season. And I think with this card, You're Not Alone, is to call upon your community. I think you're more resourced than you realize. You might actually have people in your community who can help you. Okay, Thank you, Libra risings. Please let me know if that resonated with you, and I hope to see you out there. Hello, Virgo risings. This is happening in your 6th house, which is your house. The house of health, the house of coworkers, and health could mean your body or your mind. This is your daily rituals and your routines, and so maybe you've been trying to do it in a different way. You've been trying to incorporate different activities to help you manifest your dream body or work on your mental health, or maybe you've been changing up your work routine, something that disrupts you a little bit to change the energy within your life, but also maybe you've been manifesting a new job. So let's see what the cards have to say. So your archetype is the threshold. Okay. It's interesting because Virgo risings right now, you have Mercury and Mars transiting your 1st house. And we are officially in Virgo season, so happy birthday to all of your Virgo risings and suns and moons and stelliums. So you're having some kind of awareness that where you want to go, see these feet over here, the threshold, and the threshold always reminds me of like being at one point and seeing the other side, but to get to that other side, you recognize like what's holding you back and like the things that you have to do to get there. So when we manifest something, it's really not about, it's more about the person you have to become and the thoughts and actions that you have to embody to be, just be, right? And a lot of that has to do with limiting beliefs and blocks and our perceptions about our lives. So I feel like you're doing this. Maybe you've been incorporating a new meditation routine, a new exercise routine to help you accomplish this. 29 with breathe, and maybe you're incorporating more breath work because Mercury rules your mind. Mars is the planet of action in your 1st house. So you're recognizing that this is going to help you open up your body. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocent, rare gifts. I think this is more saying like taking care of your body. Virgo is the sign of health. Virgo is the sign of the healer, purification. So I think you're really taking your health very seriously. Also, Aquarius is ruled by the modern ruler of your Uranus, and Uranus is the electrical system, our energy. So I think you're really manifesting more energy for yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of yourself like a child. The spider. I love the spider. Spiders are feminine energies, weaving together things. And this to me is very Virgo energy, actually. Virgos are very detail oriented. I mean, Kobe Bryant, Beyonce are very famous Virgos, where if you watch that documentary on Netflix about Beyonce's performance in Coachella, her performance in Coachella was like an hour, I think, but she literally rehearsed for that 8 months before for like 8 hours a day or something like that. You have to watch that Netflix documentary Homecoming if you are a Virgo rising or a Virgo sun or you have a Virgo stellium, because that kind of attention to detail, that kind of dedication. And yeah, like she talks about even in that documentary of like the kind of body regimen she went through, the way she fed herself. And she definitely went through an extreme, you know, how she exercised, how she prepared, how she was so involved in every detail, every choreography. And I know Kobe Bryant is a Virgo sun, and Kobe Bryant, the same thing. Like he would be there, the first person in the gym before anybody else, and would be the last person to leave the gym because he knew that he was dedicated to his craft. So this is very, very significant for Virgo risings in your 6th house. Just think about all the things that you do in the mundane life. The 6th house is about the mundane that will contribute to this bigger dream, this bigger goal that you have. It's just so beautiful. And then you have number 14 with Ipona, wise leadership. Yes. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like maybe a lot of you are even breaking away from just being an employee, or you're breaking away from a job because the 6th house talks about work, and you really want to be that leader and you really want to stand out. And I think Mercury in Virgo traveling through your 1st house, Mercury is in its home sign in Virgo, is really awakening you to the fact that maybe you want more. Maybe, oh my gosh, maybe the threshold is that you don't just want to be told what to do, but you want to break out and do your own thing. Your 2 tarot cards, oh my gosh, the High Priestess and Temperance. Listen to your intuition. Listen to the higher calling that you're being guided towards. The High Priestess is very intuitive, very psychic, clairvoyant. These are 2 major arcana cards, so I feel like this is a very big deal. This is a very big step towards where you want to be, and I think you've either made the decision to do this or you are at this time. And Temperance is the Sagittarius card, which is like higher learning, higher understanding, but balance and patience is needed, because what I think you're creating is something that is way bigger than what you can imagine. So this is going to entail some patience. Maybe you have to go back to school, maybe you have to learn something more. And then we have New Moon in Gemini, communication is key. Yeah, I mean, Mercury also rules the sign of Gemini, which is your co-ruler. So communication and really getting your ideas out there with this wise leadership, I think is going to help you to get over this threshold. And maybe in order for you to do that, you have to think of the ways in which your daily routines will support you in doing this. Go after it, Virgo. Yes. Thank you, Virgo risings. Okay, now we are on to Leo risings. This is happening in your 7th house of partnerships. This could be business partnerships, romantic partnerships. So now my heart just like dropped. And I feel like the big message for Leo risings is that you've had to, with this new moon in your 1st house that happened 2 weeks ago, the 8-8 portal, the Lionsgate portal, is maybe a lot of you have been calling in your divine counterpart. But in order for you to have done that, and you know, Leos get this bad rap. The lower expression of Leo is being in the ego, being narcissistic, only wanting to shine and not having consideration for the other, which is so interesting that Aquarius is in your 7th house of the other. And so you have to really get out of your own way and your own, you know, needing for validation to take into consideration your partner and what your partner needs. And your partner is going to be definitely a little out there and a little different because it's Aquarius, right? So with Saturn being there too, I feel like you've been going through a lot of karma, going through a lot of reflection on the kind of partners that maybe you've had in the past. And now maybe you've been releasing a lot of your limiting beliefs. And I think collectively, we've all had to release a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of old systems of institutions like marriage and what a partnership really is. Because unconditional love is unconditional love. Love without conditions. And I think now we're redefining what that means for all of us. So this is exciting, and your first card is the Maiden. Ooh-wee. The Maiden is a part of the trio of the 3 feminine archetypes. So it's the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. And the Maiden is the youngest one. Somebody who is very, like, fertile, very naive, very adventurous, very keen on exploring. And so maybe you've been manifesting either this for yourself, because again, like the 1st and 7th house axis is me to we. So you've been possibly, I mean, you're a Leo rising, so I feel like, you know, you just had all of this Leo activation in your 1st house. So you have been feeling into yourself, feeling into your body, feeling really good. And with Virgo moving into your 2nd house of self-worth and worthiness, maybe you've been really, I mean, if you look really closely, it looks like a feminine figure touching a body part. So maybe you've been feeling into yourself, feeling into like what it is that you really want in your relationships. But I get this feeling of like my heart is fluttering, like literally, like you're just getting excited by this person that you're manifesting, or that has been, maybe you have manifested already. I cannot make this shit up. You got the soulmates card. Oh my god, with the penguins who mate for life. And if you look closely, one of the penguins has a heart that has a keyhole, and the other penguin is holding the key. Oh my god. I feel like I could just end this reading right here for you, Leo risings. You calling in your soulmate. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go, which is kind of what I was feeling in the beginning, you know. I feel with this new moon in Leo that happened 2 weeks ago, with this culmination of energy in your 7th house, you're like, you know, with Saturn in retrograde too, and Jupiter retrograde in your 7th house, you've been, and Jupiter retrograde is like expansion, but inward expansion, right? And like seeing things in a different way with Aquarius. And maybe you've really been letting go of some of these like old paradigm thinking about what relationships really, you know, need to be, because Aquarian energy is future forward, it's innovative, it's different. And the old paradigm of relationships is like boy meets girl, girl meets boy, they get married, they have a baby, they buy, you know, like, but maybe that's not you. Maybe that's not your partner. Maybe you just want to recreate what that love story means, you know? I'm all about that. I have my moon and Venus in Aquarius, and I just question everything. Then we have the gazelle, and I love the gazelle. The gazelle is a feminine energy, but this is the fire element, which is your element, Leo. Again, I get the same energy with the maiden and the gazelle here, and I don't know if this is like, most of my viewers have feminine, a lot of feminine energy, that, and they are calling in the divine masculine. So I get this feeling more so that this is the energy that you're embodying, and you are calling in your divine masculine. Because with gazelles, I just don't know that much about gazelles, but I do watch an occasional, you know, wildlife video. Gazelles are extremely sensitive, like deer, right? And they can feel their predator, the lions, coming after them. And I get that sense with the maiden too. I get this energy of being super heightened aware, super sensitive. So you might even be feeling in the 5D your soulmate at this time, you know, and lifting of the veil. It's like you've already met your soulmate in the 5D or something. And then with 27 Lakshmi, I mean, this reading just keeps getting better and better. And maybe Lakshmi is on your side to calling in your divine counterpart, or this could even be regarding business because it's one-on-one partnerships. But for, I mean, we got the soulmate card, which soulmates don't have to be romantic, but I'm definitely getting a romantic vibe from this. And the Lakshmi to me represents like Jupiter and Venus, like very fortunate, very, and Jupiter is transiting your 7th house. Okay, the 2 tarot cards, oh my goodness, the Princess of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. You're feeling really good in your body. You're feeling really stable. You're feeling really luxurious. This is luxury. You're feeling really empowered in yourself, in your own body. And the Princess of Pentacles in the traditional tarot is an offering, actually, is an offer. So just look out for an offer, but it's a pentacle, so it's more like being asked out on a date, being asked out for coffee or tea. So just look out for that. And then we have here, full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. And the message that's coming through for this is, if you truly want to call in this soulmate, right, you need to actually take practical steps. You can't just sit around and dream about this person. And I do believe in divine intervention, and I do believe in divine timing, but you have to put yourself out there in order for you to be seen, in order for this soulmate to find you, right? This is so exciting, Leo risings. Please let me know if any of this resonates, because I would love to hear about it. Hello, Cancer risings. I took a little break right at the halfway point between all the signs, and so I feel very rejuvenated, and I have some rose tea. Okay, so for you, this full moon is happening in your 8th house, the house of intimacy, death, rebirth, transformation. It's the house ruled by Scorpio, so it's things that are mystical, occult, esoteric. And being a Cancer rising ruled by the moon, you might have been feeling some or experiencing some mystical things. But with the full moon being there and Jupiter being there, maybe you had, you know, because it also deals with other people's resources and inheritance. Maybe you recently got a little boost of money that you weren't expecting from possibly a relative who passed, or somebody that is supporting you, helping you, or maybe it's just deepening your relationships and your sense of intimacy. So let's look at the cards that you've got. And the first one we have is Kairos. Okay, I love this eye. Intuition. It's a blue eye too, and looks like a cat's eye. So Kairos, in this book, The Archetypes, which I love, by Kim Krans, it talks a lot about like Jungian psychology. She has a lot of resources. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck with a lot of information. But this talks about synchronicities. And actually, let me just read a little bit from this book, because this is one that is in, it's a little bit more esoteric. Mythic time, synchronicity, alignment, ease in decisions and actions. So yeah, you know, the 8th house is a very mystic place. It's a very, yeah, just mystical place. Maybe some of you are actually interested in mysticism, shamanism, even astrology and tarot, because Aquarius rules astrology. The modern ruler of Uranus is the sign of astrology and mysticism, and learning about, like, even doing what I'm doing now, you know, this is stuff that I don't necessarily know from my logical brain why I'm transmitting some of these messages or why certain images speak out to me. I just look at them and listen to my intuition, and I use my intuition and my connection to spirit to help guide everybody on their journey. So I feel like you've been manifesting this deeper sense of awareness, this deeper sense of watching out for signs and synchronicities. And then we have Chop Wood with number 42. And this talks about like getting to work. I know in some Zen philosophies, it's like when you're waiting for the manifestation, instead of like waiting, you prepare, right? You sweep away, there's a broom here, there's a mop here, there's like, it looks like preparing the space before somebody comes to visit. And I think even in like a tenet of manifestation is like, while you're waiting is to do the prep work to prepare. So I know, like, when they say before you manifest your person, before you manifest money, is to get your space ready energetically. I even believe this idea of the mundane tasks like cleaning, like getting rid of old things. You know, we're heading into Virgo season. Actually, it is Virgo season right now because the sun just turned into Virgo. Virgo is all about cleaning and purification. So I think this is more of a message for you, for your manifestations, that you need to clear space right now. And just actually check where your North Node is natally, because my North Node is natally in my 8th house, and the North Node always talks about increasing, but in order for you to increase, you have to release from the South Node. So just look at where the North Node is in your natal chart. Then we have activated Earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're being led. And I really feel like, you know, we're in the time of the pandemic 2.0, 4.0. I don't even know at what point at what wave we're in. So this isn't necessarily that you might be guided to go somewhere, which you might be, you know. But I think this is just trusting where spirit is leading you. And in order for you to do this is to pay attention to the synchronicities, look into your intuition, which is why I feel like a lot of you have been interested in astrology, looking at your astrological chart, your natal chart, learning about tarot and connecting to the divine in that way. And then we have the horse here with the earth energy, and I just noticed right away that the horse has the crescent moon in its third eye, again activating the third eye. I love the horse energy because the horse is a free spirit. The horse is very spiritual. I even believe there's a movie or an animated Disney movie called Spirit where it's a horse, and I actually have been meaning to check it out. Because I don't know why I feel very guided to watch that movie, because yes, the spirit of where you're being led and how spirit is guiding you is through your intuition. And I really feel also with this card, these two cards together, it's like you've wanted to break free from something. You've wanted to explore something different about your life. Interesting. So then we have Freya, number 15, with radical acceptance. Exactly. Radical acceptance for who you are, where you are, the life that you have right now. And radical acceptance doesn't mean that like you have to just accept everything, right? But it's being grateful for what you have and the journey that you're on. But I love Freya because Freya is the Norse goddess of Venus. Freya rules Fridays. So Fridays might be significant to you, doing some magic around Fridays. Okay. And then we have the Six of Pentacles and the Devil. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, so everybody has a different interpretation of the Devil, and for me, it's completely different than what everybody else says. Yes, the shadow side of the Devil is illusion, being obsessed, being into the material world, having addictions. But the Devil card represents Capricorn, and the Devil card for me is really understanding that you've had a level of success with the Six of Pentacles here, like equal give and take. You have enough to give to others. And this really to me is significant of the Capricorn energy, where I feel like a lot of you Cancer risings have achieved some level of success, but you're seeking something more beyond the physical realm. And so the Devil card for me is understanding that there's more to this physical realm than just money and luxurious things, and seeking something outside of that. And this Devil card is also just a heads up from Spirit that once you've achieved a level of success, that you can't be attached to it. This is also talking about attachment, but detaching from just the physical reality, the material world. But the Devil card is super powerful. Again, this is Capricorn energy. Very, very hardworking, very strong leadership abilities. And together with the Six of Pentacles, tells me a lot about you Cancer risings actually, and how, again, I'm getting this feeling like you've reached a level of success, but now you're seeking something a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more mystical. And I feel like you're like that anyway, because you are ruled by the moon, you are Cancer risings. So okay, now we have gibbous moon. You're very close to achieving your goal. Okay, so this is just confirming again with this full moon in Aquarius in your 8th house. And again, for some reason, I'm thinking about the south and north node, where you need to release and where you need to move towards. And I think for a lot of you, you are really good at material things. You are really good at manifesting the material world, but you're not as proficient yet in the mystical side of you, like going more towards like mysticism and divination and speaking with spirit. So let me know if that resonated with you. Thank you so much, Cancer risings. Now we have Gemini risings. This full moon is happening in your 9th house, the 9th house of higher learning, beliefs, foreign travel, teaching, publishing, yeah, like Sagittarian topics. So you might have wanted to manifest a trip. I know we're in, pandemic times, so a little bit more difficult. You might have been manifesting an opportunity to learn something, go to school, or be accepted to... Are people getting accepted to college? I feel like that's late. Like, I feel like you would have been accepted by now, and like the fall semester is starting now. Or some kind of like spiritual practice, because the 9th house, being a Sagittarian house, is all about spirituality as well. Okay, the mirror, we have the mirror, and I feel like this is your card, Gemini, because Gemini is the twins. Gemini is ruled by the Lovers card in Tarot. So what I'm getting from this is something that I spoke about in my IGTV about this full moon, which is the law of assumption, which Neville Goddard talks about, which is that we project out into the matrix, out into the simulation, our beliefs, our feelings, and basically what we assume to be true is how we experience life. So for you Gemini risings, I think you're starting to realize this, and I can't help but see this full moon here, and you're realizing that what you... Even in your relationships, right? Your relationships are a mirror to who you are. And a lot of times we get triggered because it's mirroring something within us that we either need to heal or that we have to acknowledge. But I feel like you're finally understanding the manifestation rule, and maybe look up the law of assumption by Neville Goddard. But you're really realizing this higher level of awareness that... And because it's Aquarian energy and Jupiter is in this house for you as well, like you've maybe started to study law of attraction, the laws of the universe, to really manifest the things that you want in your life. And then we have peace with number 23. I'm sorry I'm laughing at Gemini risings, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is you're a very communicative, busy mind sign. You're all about expanding your awareness, being curious, right? And Sagittarius in some ways are the opposite sign of you, right? Because Sagittarius is the higher learning, whereas Geminis are very surface level, doesn't want to commit to an idea. And this is the house that we're speaking about in Aquarius. And I feel like you're manifesting more peace of mind, trusting in the divine, trusting in whatever comes your way is meant for you, trusting in, the signs and synchronicities, because also Geminis and Virgos, who are both ruled by Mercury, is analysis by paralysis. Just going way too deep into all the different options of how you can fail and how you can, option A, option B, option C, right? But I think you are manifesting the sense of peace because, again, what you realize is you mirror everything and everything is a mirror to you. And just this dove here with the little olive branch and the egg also talks about transformation and rebirth. So you're seeing things in a different way. Then we have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Okay, this is like the energy I was tapping into about the spiritual practice. And maybe Gemini risings for you, you've realized maybe you want to have a deeper connection to spirit. You want to have a spiritual practice. You're learning about maybe a religion or spiritual practice that is not of your own. Like, for example, you grew up in the Christian church, but now you're interested in Buddhism. Or maybe you just have a different understanding of spirituality at this point where it is the divine connection with you and the divine, opening up your heart space to gain this sense of peace. The hyena, oh my God. Okay, so there's another synchronicity here with this moon, and it's a full moon, but it's black and white. And I always get this card, the hyena. And the hyena in this deck talks about like making light of your situation, like making jokes, which is the Gemini, it's the Gemini energy where, Geminis kind of are the jester, right? The jester, where they have fun, they're really outgoing, they're really curious, they're the social butterflies, but you might be hiding a part of yourself that is deeper. See, there's light and there's dark. The mirror. And they both have like the same coloring. So you might be like manifesting like an open heart space, opening up your heart, allowing more peace, allowing more flow. And there is a time and place to have fun. There is a time and place to make light of your situation. But when shit get dark, you also have to create space for that. And then we have new beginnings with Lostre, number 13. Yeah, I feel this very deeply, that you're having a new beginning of a way of being. I mean, with you just had a solar eclipse in your first house back in June, right? So you've been dismantling some ego identifications, the way you look at yourself, and you've been going through this for the entire year. And I feel like now, we're gonna have a couple, I think we're having one more eclipse in this axis, and then it's changing to Taurus and Scorpio. But I feel like you're finally integrating the lessons that you've learned throughout this eclipse season. But you are going through a new beginning, which is super exciting. Okay, your two tarot cards is, wow, the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Having full clarity of your inner worth. Having full clarity of the abundance all around you. This new beginning is an understanding that when you integrate your light and your dark, when you integrate your light and your dark and you just don't project your light, that is your true power. That is your true power. And you realize this because the Ace of Swords is divine intervention from spirit, giving you that clarity, giving you that awakening, that there is a new form of stability coming in for you. The 10 of Pentacles for me is like legacy, 10th house energy of like, you know, for you, Aquarius is your 9th house and Pisces is your 10th house. And when Jupiter went into Pisces, you might have gotten a little hint of this, but it went back into your 9th house. So you realize that in order for you to really expand in a way that you want to and need to, that you have to see yourself in a different way. Even though 9th house talks about spiritual practice, foreign travel, but the 9th house for some astrologers is a very fortunate house. That house is ruled by Jupiter. So having Jupiter transiting a Sagittarian house, I feel like this is very, very auspicious and very fortunate for you. So let's see. New moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. And I feel like this message is for you because the new moon in Virgo is the next lunar cycle, which I believe is September. I don't have it written down, but it's, I think September 6th is the new moon in Virgo. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row. You've realized your shadow and your light before this new moon in Virgo. And I feel like this is going to give you a lot of clarity because you and Virgo share the sign of Mercury, and Mercury right now is in Virgo. Okay, so I hope that helped. Let me know, Gemini risings. Hello, Taurus risings. How are you doing? This is your reading for the full moon in Aquarius that's happening in your 10th house. And I just can't help but wonder, but Uranus is transiting through your first house. So you're definitely going through some kind of awakening and shift through your sense of being, through your sense of body, how you move through this world. So I hope you're all taking care of your physical body and that you're moving slowly, which Taurus risings, you're not that shy to moving slowly. I know that's a stereotype of Tauruses, but I think Uranus moving through your first house is really like awakening you to some things that maybe you hadn't seen before. So this is happening in your 10th house, which is of career. So you might have been wanting to expand in a different way. You might have wanted to reflect back on your career, since Saturn in retrograde rules the 10th house. So you have a house that is naturally ruled by Saturn, with Saturn right now retrograde in Aquarius and Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius transiting your 10th house of career. So let's look at the cards and the messages that you have. What are you manifesting? The Starborn. I love this card. This card to me is like, you are the star, you are shining, you are the main character energy, right? And with Saturn and Uranus square to each other, your sense of being and your sense of self and how you show up in this world, it directly impacts how you show up in your career. The 10th house is the highest point of the chart. It is where our midheaven is. It is our reputation and our legacy. So I feel the more you can pour into yourself, take care of your body, but also integrating all of these squares. We've had a square in, I believe, February, and then June, and then we have our last one in December. And through that time, you've had to realize, like, what areas of your life do you want to leave behind, the past, and how you're going to integrate those lessons to the future. Aquarius is a very future forward thinking, out of the box thinking sign, and although you share the qualities of being a fixed sign, Tauruses are not known to be adaptable to change. Aquarius is a fixed sign, but Aquariuses are future forward thinking. So just keep that in mind as you manifest your ability to shine and being the main character of your story. Maybe you're starting a new career. Maybe you've been thinking about leaving your job and starting something new. Just remind yourself that it is 100% relied upon your own sense of self, which I know everybody says, but it's so true. time to go. Number 45, exactly. You're being called to leave behind the past and your own self-limiting beliefs of what you are capable of. This reduces to a number 9, which is the end of a cycle. And so for a lot of you, you might have dreams about doing something that you truly love. And I keep touching my hair, I don't know why. Maybe some of you want to be like, because the hair, you know, our hair energetically holds our past, right? And that's why a lot of people cut their hair so that they let go of the past. And I think you're being called to let go of your past and the limiting beliefs you have about yourself in order for you to be the shining star, the main character. Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. And this is your card, Taurus. Ooh, my nose is itchy. Taurus is the sign of Mother Earth. And as I said, with Uranus transiting your first house, which is your body, you're being called to slow down even more, which again, I don't necessarily think Tauruses are, it's not challenging for you to slow down, but I think you are even called to go into nature more. And I don't know if some of you have access to nature, even meditating through nature sounds, getting into herbology, getting into plants, anything to make you feel grounded and in your body is going to help you at this time. Oh, and then you have the buffalo. I don't know if this is any more appropriate for Tauruses, the buffalo. Okay, even though this is not a bull, there's no bull in this animal deck, so this would be your energy, and this is an earth sign. And I love the way this Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck defines this card because it's grounded yet spiritual. And buffaloes are very spiritual animals to indigenous people of America, so you might want to look into the symbology of it even further. But that's what you are, Taurus. You are super grounded, super like in your body. Taurus rules the body, self-worth, values, how we see ourselves, right? But it's a very spiritual thing to be so confident in yourself and in the way that you show up, that this allows you to be the star in your own way, in your career, and whatever that is, whatever legacy you want to leave. And some people don't relate to career, right? I think that's a very American thing. If that even means being a mother, it says pulse of the mother. If that even means that, there's something that you need to let go of and just go. This figure has her back turned towards us and moving towards this door. Then we have truth, Mat, number 30. And I just noticed too that you have number 3 here, and 3 is the Empress card, which is also ruled by Venus, your co-ruler. And truth, yeah, the truth of who you are, that you are a divine being, that you have everything that you need, that you're a magical creature. And please look up the significance of Mat. That might also give you more insight. The 2 tarot cards that you have is the Magician and the 2 of Pentacles. You've been manifesting change. You've been manifesting something in your career that might even be somewhere around this idea of maybe you want to, let's say you used to work in a 9-to-5 job in an office, right? Very traditional. But now during the panorama, you realized, I want to be an herbologist and I want to sell plants. And you've been manifesting this. You've been thinking about it, right? And it's totally possible because that is the truth of who you are. This might have even been connected to like your ancestry and past lives, because the 10th house, the opposite of the 10th house is your 4th house in Leo, which you just had all of this Leo activation. And Virgo moving into your 5th house, Mercury and Mars being there, you're taking creative action. You're taking very detailed steps towards this dream, towards this, but your answer is it's time to go. Like, now is the time. And then we have the void of course moon. Nothing will come of this situation. Nothing will come out of you just staying still, out of you just being in your comfort zone. And I know Tauruses really love comfort. They really love to stay where they are because they're not going to necessarily change until something cataclysmic happens. Don't wait for that to happen. The time is now. Nothing else can come of your situation. And I'm seeing the words dead end in my head. So nothing else. Like, you've already completed a cycle. This is the 29th degree in Aquarius. This is an ending of a cycle. Nothing else can come of your experience here. The time is now to move into the thing that you've been manifesting. And I know you've been manifesting this because we have the Magician here and the 2 of Pentacles. So I don't mean to call you out, Taurus risings, but the time is now. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Nothing is promised, and you don't want to regret not taking a chance. Thank you, Taurus risings. The unseen. I love this card because this has so many different meanings, and I actually pulled this for myself this morning when I was pulling cards for myself for the full moon. The unseen is seeing beyond the veil. And I feel like this is for me saying that you have soul family out there that you can't see yet. You can't necessarily, you know, go on social media or meet at like a meetup, but when you are committed to your divine purpose and your highest timeline and you just work on yourself, these people will find you and you start realizing the signs and synchronicities and you are led to them. I really love this card because there's so much happening in our unseen realms that we don't see with our physical eyes. And I feel like this is also you opening up your spiritual gifts. You being more aware of, you know, because Aquarius also could mean like, it's very galactic energy. So maybe you're connecting with galactic beings, your starseed origins, right? And then we have number 10 with unfinished symphony. Okay, the literal message here could be that maybe you've been working on something, like you've been creating a community, or you've been working on, because the 11th house can also talk about like social media and finding community through there. So maybe you started that, but you stopped. You know, Jupiter was transiting through that house, and then it went into Pisces for a little bit, and then it came back into this house. So when Jupiter is in retrograde in Aquarius is happening in your 11th house, maybe this is your calling to finish something. It could literally mean like you're in an orchestra, or you're in a band, or you're already a part of a community, or you're starting a community, or really you need to finish something that you've been working on. And I feel like that will help you call in whatever it is that you're calling in. And then we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Wow. Yeah, Spirit is saying for you to surrender. You know, you're Aries rising, so you are ruled by Mars. So a lot of you really are in the masculine, taking action, doing the thing, and you're in your yang. And I feel like this is all very feminine energy. With the unseen, you can only feel into the unseen with your other senses, your intuition, and by surrendering, by not needing to control the outcome. And for some reason, this is giving me like Pisces vibes. So with with Pisces in your 12th house and Jupiter taking a dip into there, which is the unseen realm, the 12th house is the unseen realm, you started something that you did not finish. And then now Spirit is asking you to go back and continue that journey. Oh my God, the moth. The moth is attracted to the light. So you can very well be the moth, actually. Or moths are attracted to you because you are the light. I'm getting a lot of Pisces energy with your group. It might just be like your sun is in Pisces, or you are a moon in Pisces. I feel like your moon is in Pisces, or you have a stellium in Pisces, because a lot of this energy is very Piscean to me, but you are an Aries rising. Okay, number 26 with Kuan Yin, compassion. Exactly. I love Kuan Yin. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others. The 11th house is always about being compassionate towards other. You know, Aquarius is about groups and friendships. And so if you've been calling that in, I really feel like Spirit is asking you to be a little bit more in the receptive mode, in the more feminine role, and letting go of control of how these things should be coming into your life. We have the Ace of Cups and Nine of Cups with your tarot. Yes. Okay, so again, this is so much feminine energy, water energy. So this could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but I'm really feeling a lot of Pisces energy, even with Kuan Yin here. Compassion. Pisces is a very compassionate sign. It is ruled by Jupiter, so and Neptune, so you also might have a lot of you might have a significant Neptune placement. But I'm really feeling like, okay, so you've been wanting to manifest an offering. This is an offering from Spirit, right? You've been waiting for this invitation. You've been waiting for this cup. This could be love, this could be friendships. I was more thinking of this in terms of the 11th house, which is friendships, but maybe some of you are even calling in your divine counterpart that starts as a friend, but then becomes like more significant. And the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. It's like you went from the Eight of Cups, which is leaving something behind, which is, I feel like, you've been leaving behind your sense of control and needing to know. And with that, you found the Nine of Cups, which is like fulfillment at an emotional level. And this is a gift from Spirit, which is why I was channeling so much Piscean energy. It's like that dip from Jupiter into Aquarius in your 11th to your 12th gave you a little glimpse of something unseen, something that you realized you wanted. And now you're getting an opportunity to finish that story. What do you need to release, waning moon? Oh my goodness. So I really feel, so we're gonna be in the waning phase of the moon after this full moon. You really need to let go of your sense of control. You need to let go of your sense of needing to know the form, and needing to let go of the sense of like needing to know when. I keep hearing when in my head. And just trust in the divine. And I know everybody hates hearing that. I hate hearing that. I also hate hearing surrender to divine timing. But that is literally all the cards that you are being guided towards. The moth also signifies like death, rebirth, transformation. Moths are very spiritual, but in a very like, they're different from butterflies to me because they are very attracted to the light in the dark. When things are dark, you look for the light, right? And I feel like you are that to people as well. So main message, Aries rising, let go of control, let go of the control of needing to know and seeing, and surrender to the divine. Thank you. Okay, last but not least, we are at Pisces rising. This is happening in your 12th house of the unseen realms, the house that is very spiritual, very mystical, things that are hidden, things that you have to let go of. So let's see, you are coming into full culmination of something, right? In Aquarian topics, the ring. Okay, the ring is a circular thing, and anything circular to me is a wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune. Something that you've been working on for a while, or maybe you've started a spiritual practice. Pisces rising, you are ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So Jupiter dipped into your first house and then went back into your 11th house of Aquarius. Being a Pisces rising with Aquarius in your 12th house must be very interesting, because I feel like you get a lot of downloads through very galactic beings, through very interesting beings that you can't necessarily like place your finger on, like, oh, these are my spirit guides, these are my ancestors, these are my angels, but you just get a lot of downloads, possibly even in your dreams. But the ring could really mean, I don't know why I keep seeing circles, so like a full culmination of something, an understanding of something. It can also mean a ring in the literal form, like a ring, like a commitment. Deep knowing. This is exactly the, oh my gosh, this is the energy that I was picking up. 43, which reduces to a 7, which is a very spiritual number. And we have 2 full moons here and an owl. And it says deep knowing. Okay, so you might have been getting a lot of downloads from the 2 full moons. And this is the second full moon, the blue moon. And you realize something in your dreams or in your intuition or just in your deep sense of knowing. Something was revealed to you that you're like, oh, okay. And these are very circular images with these 2 full moons here in this ring. Maybe you're making a commitment. Okay, this says, forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Maybe this is the realization you had. Maybe this is the deep knowing, is that you're actually a leader. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. You're very wise, you're very intuitive, you're very out of this world. You cross beyond dimensions of time and space. And you're not even in this plane, and you could be very affected by full moons in general and just having your intuition being heightened. So I feel like you might be using these gifts to help people and be the leader that you wish you had. Maybe you have a unique gift. I'm sensing that some of you are possibly disabled or not able-bodied, and you didn't have a leader, or LGBTQI plus, like you didn't have the leader that you needed growing up. You know, just speaking from my own experience as a Korean American woman, growing up, the only people that I saw on TV was Connie Chung and Lucy Liu. And Lucy Liu was a lot later when I went into high school. She was in those Charlie's Angels movies, but for some reason, I'm getting this feeling that a lot of you did not have somebody who looked like you out in media or out in whatever you're doing, and you're gonna pave a new path. And the downloads that you've been getting is that you need to do this, and that you are being guided by spirit, and that you're almost like committing to that path with this ring. The fox. The fox is a nocturnal animal, very intuitive, has super big ears, so some of you might be getting clairaudience. You're getting an activation of your clairaudience. And foxes are very smart. Foxes are very cunning. You know, they always say sly as a fox. I love foxes. They're such beautiful animals. 22 with Iris, communication. Yeah, this is what I've been feeling. Like you've been getting downloads from, and I just noticed here with the forge don't follow, it's almost like 2 different realms, right? Like this earthly plane and this plane where she is like in, and you have like access to both, and you're seeing that. You're getting some kind of like divine downloads. Again, like Pisces, you are ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, which are both super spiritual signs. You are a spiritual sign. So I don't doubt that you're getting these downloads and that you're incredibly psychic. So if you are watching this and you're like, what is she talking about? I feel like you might not even be aware of how psychic you actually are, or that you're getting divine downloads. And you might even be seeing 22, like that master number of duality, of like you're in this dimension but then you're in another dimension. Oh my gosh. Okay, you have the Magician and Justice. The Magician is ruled by Mercury and Justice is ruled by Libra. And to me, this is, again, Mercury is about having everything that you need. It's getting divine downloads. It's manifesting everything that you need from what you have. Libra with this black and white cat, again, duality. Justice rules relationships. Again, you might even be getting proposed to, or you might be getting a ring, or you could be co-creating with spirit. You could be integrating your dark and your light. I also noticed with the Justice card a sword in the middle, and the sword always talks about truth and knowledge. With this deep knowing, you're getting like, I keep seeing, like, you know, in Stranger Things, if you watch that movie, the Upside Down, like there is a world existing on this plane but also in the Upside Down. And there's so many movies that talk about that same topic, where if you've also watched the TV show Fringe, where there's like one reality and then in another planet there's another reality. I feel like you're like moving beyond time and space to get deep wisdom and deep downloads to help manifest what you're creating, but also being the leader that you needed. Like, you're incredibly intuitive, you're incredibly and you know, we have a fox and these two cats, like very intuitive beings and very intuitive creatures. And the new moon in Aries, it's time to take action. So it's time to take action on these downloads and communications that you've been getting. Aquarius rules the electricity, the kundalini, the energy body, but also Aquarius is about the community and the collective. And maybe, again, like, forge, don't follow. You're using your gifts and your downloads and your communication to help people that look like you and be the leader that you needed growing up. So I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know. These are super magical cards. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I always send you many, many blessings, health, wealth, and abundance, and love your way. Bye.